And here we are at Carlsbad Cavern. This is the ranger station on top where we begin our journey down under. The parking area. And that's the Chihuahuan Desert below. And over toward the south, we'll come across the edge of the Guadalupe mountain range. A quite impressive little edge of the mountains over there. Almost looks like it has snow on it. But that most likely is the sand reflecting in the sunlight. There's all a little garden here of all the different local plants. Most of them being cacti and yucca plants. It's Karen's favorite right here. And here we are with the technical information of the national park. 4,408 feet above sea level here. Down below in the plains it's 3,600. And we'll actually be 52 feet underneath the plains when we're on the cavern floor. Here's a prickly pear cactus. See quite a bit of those out here. This is Karen's favorite, the octotillo. And a yucca plant. A cane cola, whatever that means. I don't know if I pronounced it right. And this is what they call our thistle. I don't think that's a thistle. They're describing, though, it must be this plant behind us, right here. That thing is just in the way. Oh, what do we have here?
We need car keys.
We need car keys? By who are we? Oh, it's the yucca plants. There's some more local prickly pears. And here's a red hydrant. And now we're looking out toward the southeast. This is what the hills actually look like. I'm looking down a little bit here. And those are the Chihuahuan deserts down below. See a lot of these gullies around here that get washed out with the heavy storms. Is there a ranch over there? I think there's a ranch over there.
Carlsbad Caverns. Welcome back to those of you that have been here before. And the most important thing that we want to do before you get started is simply make sure that you've chosen the tour that you need to be taken. Okay, this is not only the longest tour that we have, It is the most difficult tour. It's going to take you at a reasonable pace about 3 hours to complete. In a little less than 1 mile, you're going to descend to the equivalent of an 83-story building. The trail is very, very steep. Okay, when you get down at the bottom, the trail will level out for about 1/4 mile. You'll walk through 4 small, very pretty rooms, and then you get to climb a hill that is the equivalent of an 8-story building. It is also very, very steep. And shortly after you get to the top of that 80-foot hill, you're going to enter the big room. And from that point on, your trail will be kind of rolling hills, pretty easy walk. You'll be in the big room. Big room is 3 things. It's the last half of the blue tour, it's the red tour, and number 1, it's what made us a national park. It's the most famous part of the cave, the most spectacular part, besides being the easiest walk. Now, unfortunately, about 20% of the people that walk through the natural entrance never see the big room, simply because by the time they have gone down 83 stories and climbed 80 feet back up, they're so tired they go to the elevator and leave. Okay? That's up to them. That really doesn't affect us a lot if they do all the hard work and miss the pretty stuff. But there's 2 or 3 people a day, and this weekend, this is one of the big ones, and we usually have more than that don't make it, period, and we have to go get them. Now, if you go into the blue tour knowingly having a health problem, especially if it's a respiratory problem like asthma, a heart condition, or anything at all wrong with your feet, ankles, knees, hips, or lower back, you're not only putting yourself at risk, you're going to be putting us at risk, and we're going to ask you not to do it. It's not easy to go down there and get people that shouldn't have gone in the first place. So think about it. Make sure that you are physically able to complete this tour before you begin it. Okay? Regulations. Folks, if you don't hear the regulations, you're going to have to go in with the next group, okay? Okay, regulations are common sense. They've been set aside to protect the cave. They are strictly enforced. They're citable offenses. You need to know what they are. Number 1, you have got to be on the trail with both feet at all times. If you get off the trail, you're probably going to hurt yourself. You're definitely going to hurt the cave. So both feet on the trail is required. The use of tobacco products of any kind, now that's regardless of whether you smoke it, whether you chew it, dip it, whatever you do with it, if it applies to you, you're going to have to give it up until you come out of the cave anyway, okay? And that's anywhere underground, including the underground lunchroom and the bathroom that's available down there. It's not allowed anywhere underground. Food products, including gum and candy, are prohibited on the trail system. Now, those of you that are chewing gum, don't swallow it. We have a gum can right here. You can drop it in there. We had a litter problem developing on the trail system that was actually beginning to attract animals into the cave, which is pretty bad. Surface animals get in there and they don't know how to get out. So we'd appreciate your help, so would the animals. There is an underground lunchroom 2 miles from here. It is the only place in the cave where food products are allowed. Okay? Children under 16, how many of you guys are under 16? A bunch of you. Okay, listen up. Anybody under the age of 16 has to be, whether they like it or not, with the adults that brought them. And by with an adult, I'll tell you exactly what we mean by that. We mean close enough to those adults that they can reach out and grab you if they need to. If we find a child under the age of 16 without an adult, we don't go look for parents. We don't hang out in the cave. The child will go to the visitor center. They'll be in our office with the ranger. If you want them back, come ask us. So far, we've always done that. Okay, last thing. This is the hardest. It is the most important thing we're going to ask you not to do. It is human nature to reach out and touch things to see what they feel like. We guarantee you everything in that cave feels like a cold rock, and we're going to ask you to take our word for that. Last year, in 1 year, we lost 812 formations that people busted off. We have whole sections of the wall down there that are waterproofed, stained, permanently stained and waterproofed from skin oils, from people walking by and dragging their hands on the wall, or from touching formations. You're going to see formations that it looks like we oiled. What that is fingerprints from having been touched and handled repeatedly. They are oiled and they'll never grow anymore. But we need a lot of help. We're going to ask you to help us by just having a good time, enjoy it, take pictures, ask questions. You're going to see rangers down there. Please don't touch or handle the natural features that you'll be seeing.
I want to take a picture.
This is the amphitheater. This is where the bats came out last night.
Slow down.
Who's down there? Hi guys.
Oh yeah.
Inside the entrance. This is looking up from part of the way down. Looking up almost about inside the first room, looking at up. That's where we had come in. It's quite immense in here. See birds flying around. Looking straight up at the ceiling, there's this stalactite coming down, a kind of a short, stubby one, but it looks kind of impressive. See, the shadow is creating like a bird-like shadow. Looking almost. Okay. That's quite impressive. This is called the Veiled Statue. Right here it is. We are now in the King's Palace. It's a very impressive sight it is. Big, looks like a big room here. We could dance, like a dance floor. I don't know how much you can see, but I can see real nice and it's beautiful. Little formation underground here.
Draperies.
Now we're on the other side of the King's Palace. Awful lot of room down here. It's got to be up about 40 feet. Tilted curtain, I believe they call it. Probably tilted when the iceberg rock fell. Here's another view of that tilted rock formation. Here's the vertical. Come down, everything's tilted to the left. Beautiful. Now in the big room. So about 250 feet up at the highest point. I don't know if you can see any of this here. It's quite impressive. What you see there extends from me, I'd say about 100 yards. I'll zoom up on some of the formations. And here we see a lion's tail straight up. Oh, can we see it or not? I don't know if you can see it or not. Right there. It's right in the center. And there's popcorn on the end of this leg tight, forming a formation which looks like the lion's tail and has a puff of fur on the end. And over here, right in the center, is a big column. Very impressive. Oh, a couple of columns. Well, these are stalagmites. I sure hope we can see this on TV. This is gorgeous. Not really any color, just it's kind of a dull color, but the formations are beautiful. Hall of Giants.
They go about as fast as us.
Another picture of those twin domes, as they call it, and the giant column. And right behind it is a curtain, a couple of them. And over to the right here is another couple of columns. Looks like, what are these called, ribbons coming down? Is that coming out? That's the ceiling of another part of the big room. A tall stalagmite. There's a pool. This place was once nothing but water down here. Big underground lake of water. It slowly drained away as probably everything formations rose up, and or else the desert dried, climate changed, and then it drained out, leaving this opening. Here we are. There's a big hole.
that better.
Looking almost straight up here, about a 80-degree, 70-degree angle. Beautiful. Kind of down now. We're at the Painted Grotto, I believe. A lot more color here.
I see green up there. I see yellow. Painted Grotto. Here.
No, this isn't. This
There's bluish in there.
is not the Painted Grotto yet. We're coming up to it.
Take a look at it.
This is just another formation. Here we are, the Painted Grotto. Now we can see colors.
Look up and down.
Yellow, orange, red, and brown tends to denote the presence of other miracles.
Miracles or minerals?
Minerals. Minerals. I meant minerals.
You don't see blue in there.
I see blue.
There's some colors.
In there. Funny.
Miracles.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
It's lovely, thank you.
Where?
Oh, those are the silver stone. Those
Here
are
we
called
go.
silver stone.
Some lilies, cave lilies as we call them. Where the pool of water used to be. That goes across the whole surface. They call that cave ice. There at what they call Doll's Theater. Beautiful in there. All kind of little tiny columns and stalagmites and tights in there. Soda straws and small columns, they call them. Goes way down back. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Out from the Doll's Theater. Neat looking area coming up here. Popcorn, as they call it, cave popcorn. Here's that hole we just saw coming out just a second ago. And here I don't know if you can see anything, but I'm looking toward the end of the cave. Big, a smaller room compared to the other ones. This is what they call flow stone. All real smooth. Was mud-like at one time before it hardened. Came dripping off of here. More popcorn over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to stop in front of you. It looks like a dancing theatrical
person right here. The head there, the top of his hat, and the two arms. Call this the Chinese theater.
That looks good, yes. It looks like something you keep looking through and looking through and looking through.
You see through into another room here. See things changing. Beautiful.